two, one. Anywhere I'm at, turn the city up. I can flip a dollar to a million. I don't like to brag, but I'm really on. 3, 2, 1. Anywhere I'm at, turn the city up. 3, 2, 1. I don't like to brag, but I'm really on. It's a new day, days been new. Been a decade since I made it out of rental. We some owners, baby, we don't got no rent due. Might trick, but my wife, you like to trick too. Merry Christmas, hey Saint Nick. What we want, get, we on wait list. How we got here doesn't make sense. Have patience, that'll make sense. 3, 2, 1. Anywhere I'm at, turn the city up. I can flip a dollar to a million. I don't like to brag, but I'm really on. 3, 2, 1. Anywhere I'm at, turn the city up. 3, 2, 1. I don't like to brag, but I'm really on. Picking up the slack, joining this prime way, I'm getting to the rack. I do what I want, when I want, where I want, no cap. Put in all work, now I'm getting to the back. 25-8, I got money on my mind. Live life great, but I'm always on the grind. Navy blue tank, I don't wear it for the time. Real hustler, baby, throw my rollie in the sky.
Get ready for blast off.
Ball pointing cushy, so you know it's berserk. Trevor on the mix, so you know we gon' work. I might leave in one, find a beach and go surf. I'ma ride the wave till I'm out of this earth. 3, 2, 1. Anywhere I'm at, turn the city up. I can flip a dollar to a million. I don't like to brag, but I'm really on. 3, 2, 1. Anywhere I'm at, turn the city up. 3, 2, 1. I don't like to brag, but I'm really.
Ladies and gentlemen, can y'all hear me? Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me, man. I'm so happy to be back in the building again with you guys, man. We're about to have another great show. I am excited about this show because I think this show is going to bring some, it's really going to bring some light to what men go through on a daily basis, man, and how we deal with certain things and how we go through certain things. And I really want to focus on that for sure. Let me fix this real quick. Hold on a second. All right, here we go. So yeah, I wanted to have this conversation. It's needed. And we need to have it. And so if you're here right now, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm so excited to be here. I got my co-host in the building with me tonight. Lost in Translation is in the building tonight. The velvet voice of YouTube himself. Man, how are you tonight, my brother?
I am well, man. How are you?
Man, I am good, man. I'm ready to have this conversation, brother. I have something I want to share tonight, man. That's it's a video, man, but it's just going to go into what we deal with as men on a daily basis, man. So, man, how are you? And you could go ahead and Catelia's in the chat, man. Catelia, good job for being here. Thank you we appreciate you for always coming in and being with us on Tuesdays and whenever other days that we're on. We appreciate you being in the chat with us. Loss, how you been, man? How was your day today, brother?
Actually, today was pretty good, man. We sparked up a lot of good conversations, man, from the conversation that we started on Sunday. We cut up the clips on Sunday or whatever, and I put them on TikTok and Instagram and different places like that. And we've had a lot of conversations, man, and some revelations that came out of those conversations from Sunday. And people were talking about the things that men go through, how they suffer in silence, because it's not cool, to tell everybody you're not okay if you're a man. So we're trying to make sure that we take care of that, and we have make situations better for men to say, hey, look, I'm not okay, because they shouldn't suffer in silence.
Yeah, and also, man, shout out to Felicia Williams for having a great show on Sunday. If you guys did not see the plug on Sunday, please go check it out on this network. It's called The Plug with Felicia Williams. And guys, it was an amazing show. She had her co-host, Diane Wolford, who is a first lady of a church, married to a pastor, as well as her co-host. And she also had me as well as my brother Lost and our Pain on the show, and we got to be vulnerable with these women because they gave us the space to be. And it was amazing, amazing, amazing show. And so we appreciate her for having us or thinking of us to have us on the show. Now, I want to bring up my other guy that's in the building with us tonight, man. Our Pain is in the building tonight, man. How are you tonight, my brother?
I'm doing fine, man. Can't complain. Another day.
Another day. Another day. Man, so I want to ask you guys this while this is loading up. What is it? What are you seeing right now with men's mental health? What men are going through? Because the day that we're living in right now, man cannot be stressed. He cannot be depressed. He cannot be emotional. He cannot have emotional. He got to be stoic, right? He got to have stoicism. That has to be his first love language, is stoicism. And so what are you guys seeing today? Are men becoming more emotional, or are men becoming more stoic?
You know what? I think men are starting to be more stoic, man.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, most people don't care. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's going to come save you, man. If you do, you know, it's on you, brother. So there's no need for you to complain. There's no need to say any of that. Nobody's coming to save you, you know, unless somebody put a price tag on it, and then, you know, somebody pay for you to get saved. You know what I'm saying? Right. Ain't nobody coming, man. Ain't nobody coming for us.
Felicia's in the building right now. What's up, Felicia? What about you, Arpain? What are your thoughts?
Well, I think it depends on what station you are in life. We got a whole cadre of guys who are just emotional wrecks. And then I think if you have somehow defined what your purpose is and you're chasing it, you will become a little bit more stoic, chasing whatever dream you have. You can't be distracted. So when you're focused, you get more focused on a task, on a goal. You tend to be a little bit more stoic, but we got a whole bunch of rudderless people out there. So I don't know what's the majority. I think more people are having more unhinged sons than people who have ones who are under control in the Black community, based on the birth rate and the single motherhood shit. So if we had to put it all together, I'm not so sure that we could have more stoicism and have a whole bunch of guys in crisis at the same time.
Yeah, I agree, man. I stand with you on that. I think that I believe that too, man. I think that men are becoming more stoic. I think men are keeping more in than out, than letting out. And there's reasons for that. There's reasons for it, man. And we can't. And what I'm tired of seeing, man, I'm going to say this because I thought I had this idea today. You know, even this whole Tyler Perry thing with the movie Straw, and they want to talk about how women go through things. And I'm looking at social media, man, and these women are saying, if you have a problem with Tyler Perry's movie, you have a problem with yourself. And they're really saying, oh my God, Tyler Perry knows how to relate to a woman. He really knows how to relate to a woman. But my thing, that is not Tyler Perry's story. Tyler Perry is writing every movie based on his mom. But I'm waiting, and I don't mean this to be funny, right? I'm waiting on the movie where, and the title of the movie needs to be The Product of a Whore, right? Because look at Tyler Perry's story. If you look at Tyler Perry's story, his mom, if you go back and look at his mom is Creole. His mom in her 20s and early teens was beautiful. Tyler Perry's mama was drop dead gorgeous. And she had a husband who went to work every day, he had two sisters above him. And he went to work every day. He used to work 12-hour, 16-hour shifts, you know, try to make a living for his family. And all of a sudden, little Tyler comes. And after little Tyler, he was going to church and everything, Tyler said. If you watch Tyler Perry's documentary, this is all in there. He was a church man. He went to church every Sunday with his family. And then little Tyler came along. He became an alcoholic. He became physically abusive. He became physically abusive, not just toward his mom and beating her up, but he started beating Tyler very badly. His family members even said on the documentary that he changed. He became a different man. And for years and years and years, and Tyler said when he got older, he asked him, he said, I'm a man now. He ain't gonna whoop me now because I'm a man. He said, "Why did you treat me this way?" And the father said, "Because I worked hard and I had to come home and take care of a child that was not mine and a woman who cheated on me and got pregnant by another man." Now, Tyler's mom has passed away at this point. His whole life, she told him that was his father. And now Tyler Perry does not believe him, so he gets a DNA test, guys. The DNA test comes back. The man is not the father. And that's the reason why he was so abusive. That's why he snapped in the head. He was so abusive. And everybody was on Tyler Perry dad. He trashed. They dragging him. But are you thinking about the mental illness that he could have gotten in his brain from coming home, seeing his wife pregnant, knowing that baby wasn't his? He said he knew from the time she said she was pregnant that wasn't his baby. So he had to watch his baby go through a pregnancy from a one-night stand from a man she had sex with one night at the bar while he was at work. The dad said she had sex with a local, one of the guys used to drink a lot at the local bar. And that's Tyler's daddy. And now he had to raise this boy, watch the wife have the baby, be there for the wife while she having the baby. You don't know what kind of mental state that put him in. But I don't see Tyler making movies about the mental health of a man after he called his wife being a whore.
Man, could you imagine having to take care of somebody, you know what I mean, and they kid, and then on top of that, you really can't leave? Because if it comes out, that's gonna make you look like less of a man.
Yep.
Because they're gonna tell you why you leave your family. You're a dirtbag, you're a deadbeat. So guess what? He had to stand in the gap whether he wanted to or not. And I think that's sad. I think that's really sad. Could you imagine having to go through that every day, knowing that, you know, you don't have to, you know, you really don't want to be there, you know what I'm saying? But you gotta, you know what I mean? That type of thing.
Yeah.
And because think about it, there's a lot of times, man, most times, usually women leave, but they always tell the story of how, you know, most women always abuse. But this particular situation here is a lifetime of abuse on one person. And a lot of men have stories like this that never get told because guess what? Men are not supposed to be cheated on. And if you leave your family, you already have a label waiting for you. And it's called deadbeat. And who wants to wear that? So it's damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Well, it's funny that you guys are talking about this because I wrote a real short review of the movie because I watched it, and everything y'all just talked about is in there. I'd like to just show you guys what I wrote, if you want me to, real quick.
Sure, Arpain, go ahead.
Y'all see that? Okay, Straw, Netflix. You'll see it, right?
Yeah.
Another misandrous-filled dumpster fire we have come to expect from Tyler Perry. As an abused son of a man and a mother who, I said allegedly because I wrote this, committed paternity fraud, I now understand why he depicted the absolute worst in Black men. So the way he depicts Black men is how he feels about his father. That's how I see it. That's the parallel I'm making. And somehow he finds a way to redeem his female characters no matter what kind of fuck shit that they do in those movies, right? They could be terrible, but somehow they get some redemption. I mean, Raji murdered somebody and somehow she's a victim, you know? So that's kind of where I came with that one. And as the movie itself is bad. However, nobody plays a pathetic woman better than Taraji P. Henson, right, in a movie. So she was good for that part because she plays pathetic women all the time. And then T. Taylor, Taryn, or whatever her name is, provides a healthy dose of overacting because she was terrible. And then, you know, save yourself 90 minutes, 1 out of 4 Netflix and chill. You know,
I agree. I agree.
That's it.
1 out of 4. That is hilarious. Man,
I think how his movies are a reflection of how his life. That's why he hates Black men in his movies. I think they're all a reflection of his father.
You know, you're right. He'll pedestalize women and put the men down. You're absolutely right, Arpain.
Yeah, and it's a redemption for the redemption he can never give to his mother because she's gone.
Absolutely right. It's like every movie he has the strong black woman, getting abused by the rich guy, always saved by some middle class blue collar gentleman. You know what I'm saying? The Wesley Snipes chocolate guy.
I haven't watched a Tyler Perry movie in a long time. I said, let me give it a go, man. Because I said, yeah, you didn't disappoint. It was such a bad movie. Oh my God.
You know what? I'm gonna explain something to y'all, man. I think Tyler Perry is doing more harm to women than good. And I explain to you why. He's feeding into this notion that black women are this superhero. And they always have to go above and beyond to do this and to do that. And as a result, there are a lot of women who are on antidepressants, who are making bad decisions, who are trying to live this world, this life of being a superhero and a super mom and, wearing this badge of single mom and I can do it and boss chick. And a lot of women are winding up at the hospitals, man, with all type of diseases, all type of ailments, that type of thing, all because they want to live vicariously through his characters. And I don't think that's really doing women a disservice. It's actually doing more harm than good, because if they were telling the stories like it should be told, or of a happy family where the woman is not stressed out and loving her kids and the kids loving her, you know what I mean? That's not a good story because there's no drama. But as you can see, he clearly has a template because it's successful, because all of his movies are predictable. They're built on the same way. It's like telling us the hero's journey, from a female perspective. Whether they've earned the moniker of the hero or not, he's going to turn them into the hero, just like they're doing over here at Disney with the MCU and making every last female hero character, the central portion or the central character in all these shows. Right. And as a result, Disney's losing billions of dollars, trying to wave the female flag. And I think it's doing, the people a disservice, because those types of situations weren't really meant for women to carry. But when you artificially create a problem like that, or artificially create a hero like that for somebody who's not built like that, they're going to go through life thinking that this is how it's supposed to be. And guess what? When real life shows up, real life shows them, hey, look, you may be able to put on a suit or the clothes or the uniform of a man, but I'm going to show you what it's going to take. It's going to take the heart of a man, and we're going to test you. There are some that may pass it, but for the most part, the test ain't going to have no bias. It's going to give you the business. Think about it. If men are fainting at the notion of being men, could you imagine what it does to women if they're not equipped? It's not fair, because it's a psychological thing that women go through, and they don't even see it coming. And all they do is they put that uniform on, and they think they finna put that cape on like you do when you're a kid, and you think you're a superhero, and you put that sheet in, and you stuff it down your shirt, and you jumping off the stairs, thinking that you can fly. Well, guess what? There's a lot of women who are falling down these stairs, man, with these towels stuffed down their neck, thinking that they superheroes and hurting themselves and don't even know why.
Yep, you're right. And you mentioned that whole thing about the MCU, but the point really is, I think they miscalculated. They thought that they thought they could keep ramming this shit down our throat and then somehow men will buckle. But it's not happening that way. Like, for example, I wanted to see the new Fantastic Four, but as soon as they showed me the female Silver Surfer, I'm not going to the movie. I'm not spending my money to see that. I don't care what kind of character. I don't care how the movie turns out. And then Sue Richards is the leader of the Fantastic Four, by the way. So Reed Richards in the back, and he's licking the crack of her ass while she's the leader. So I'm not going to watch that. When it comes on streaming service, I might watch it, but I'm not going to the movies to see it.
And the thing is, I think that every movie is turning into that. I'm serious, man. I think that this title of this show is everything. We are not okay. Black men are stressed. They depressed. You look on the TV. Remember back in the day, guys, y'all old enough to remember back in the day when you would turn on Delta Force was on TV, Bloodsport was on TV. You know what I'm saying? All these different movies where you had your hero, you had Arnold Schwarzenegger, you had Jean-Claude Van Damme, you had Steven Seagal, you had, man, all these different people, bro. I mean, Michael Jai White and Bruce Lee and You had all these things that a man could just really sit down and watch another man blow shit up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now everything is a woman. I watched the G20 thing with Viola Davis. I still cannot.
You watched it?
Yeah, I have to because I need to be able to talk about it. I watched it. They got Viola Davis in an evening gown, picking up 300-pound men, choking them to death and beating them and stabbing them to death. I'm like, what is? Like,
you know, the women are gonna try that. They're gonna get their feelings hurt.
You know, and then Kerry Washington just had one come out where she's the lead role, and she's beating up 300-pound men and shooting up a whole army of men. Jennifer Lopez had one drop on Netflix about 6 months ago where she's shooting up a whole platoon of men and beating up men. I'm like, man, come on, guys, this is.
The other one is what's the one with my girl Lioness?
Yeah,
even though I gotta say I don't mind the series. I mean, but this itty bitty chick, I mean, because she uses guns, she's shooting them. So, you know, that's the great equalizer. But she went up and hauled up and hit one of the guys, and he just stood there. You know, he's just
I'm glad it was realistic. It was realistic.
Yeah, I'll give you one of those, but you ain't hit me again like that.
Our pain. We ain't gonna sway away from the conversation tonight. Right. But one of the best scenes in that, if you're caught up, one of the best scenes is when they got caught up. Getting that Congress lady trying to get out of town, they had a shootout in the middle of the road. That was the best scene ever.
That's good, man.
But anyway, man,
I just thought about black men. I'm looking at the total destruction of the man. Think about this. If they're taking away the provider portion of a man, then what's next? The protection portion. And if they're turning around and they're taking away the man being the hero in the story of life, and giving it to the woman and making her the hero, then what's there left for the man? You know, it's a systematic dismantling of what it is to be a man. Even in the new John Wick movie, I hear there's supposed to be a female in it, and they're losing money now because there's a female in it that's supposed to be this bad chick, and the guys are saying, I don't want to see that. You're taking away all of the great male-centered movies and sticking the chick in it. And like as Cartman say from South Park, stick a chicken in it and make it gay. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what? You know who it is, though. You know what the movie is based off of. You remember in the second installment of John Wick when John Wick went and shot up, and the girl came in and started shooting up, but at the end she didn't. They caught up with her and they shot her down. Remember her? They shot the girl, the female assassin. That's the ballerina. Yeah. They're just going back and showing you how she became the ballerina.
Oh, that's who that is?
But yeah, that's who that is. Yeah, she did. You know what I'm saying? They're going back and showing you before John got shot and before she got shot. They're showing you how he helped train her and made her who she is. Yeah.
No, I mean, they put him in the show. They put him in the movie to kind of level set the fact that she's a woman, but she still ain't John Wick. You know, no matter what she do, she ain't him. I don't know if they swear against each other or not. But you know, but this conversation does fit the title because movies and things are one of the breakaways that men have to say, you know, shit, man, we're still relevant, and even if it's in fiction. And then when they want to try to take away that, you know, you don't have nowhere to go. But now I don't think it's working as well as people. These studios are willing to lose money to try to get this narrative out there, but they can only do that for so long.
You're right.
They can only do it for so long.
Arpain, think about this. What if it was the opposite? You know what I mean? What if we lived in a different world where instead of them demasculating women, they defeminizing? Instead of demasculating men, they feminizing women. Think about it. You'll have the central character as a man, and he'll turn around and he's getting pregnant all the time and crying all the time and telling stories from the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? I have to go and pray over this stove, and she never appreciates me. And he's always wearing high heels and pantyhose, and the mailman coming over or the mail lady coming over, knocking the dust off of him. You know what I'm saying? Getting pregnant or whatever. And then you turn on the news, and every time you look up, a woman is a piece of trash. You know, from a point of view, they'll be like, 1 in 5 men are destroyed by women. You know, film at 11. CDC says it's not okay to be a man. It's not safe in a world full of desperate angry, you
It's a
know,
horror.
women. You know what I'm saying?
It's an absolute horror.
And you know, one of the things, like, I want to play this first video, guys. So y'all know the comedian Arnez J, right?
Yeah.
This is the video, the video of him talking about his mom, breaking something to his aunt, breaking something to him when he was a grown man. And I just want y'all to hear this.
I said, Auntie, I'm getting ready to go talk to Dad. And my aunt said, oh, you mean the man that raised you? What? What? Can you imagine as a grown up, you hearing that? Yeah. For the first time, I'm like, what? That wasn't your, she go, to talk to your mama. My world is, now you don't got my world just got blew up. I already don't look like nobody in the family. Then you tell me the man that raised me. I go to my mama and I said, Mama, I need to ask you a question before I leave. Please be honest with me. I said, Mama, is Daddy my real daddy? Tell you what she did. Boy, and walked off. That's not an answer.
It wasn't the answer you wanted to hear, but you got the answer.
Boy, go on with that. I mean, that's not an answer. Yay or nay? Yes or no is the answer.
Did you ask her again? Did you ever ask her again?
No.
That was it.
Because I knew she wasn't going to answer it.
But did you know deep down, did you know?
No, I didn't. That's the problem. You have to realize, even as adults, a lot of times we don't get closure on things that mess with us when we were a child or that have been through our life.
Right.
And me being a loner like I was and like I still am and somewhat, but I have a great family, so I'm not a loner. I have a great partner. Man, my wife. I said, Auntie.
And right after that scene, he got really emotional. Like he was about to cry. He had to take a moment, right?
Yeah,
because he said he feels alone. He don't look like nobody in his family for years, and he felt that. And his mama made him feel like, boy, you know that's your family. And at the same time, his mama lied to him for fucking 45, 50 years. Like, and in most people's mind, he's supposed to be okay. He's a man. Be a robot. He's supposed to be okay, Lost. He's supposed to be okay, R-Pain. He is supposed to be okay. But for a second, guys, thank you for being here tonight. Hit the like button, subscribe button. If you want to join the panel, whether male or female, to talk about this matter, you definitely can do that. The link is tagged at the top of the screen. If you want to join the conversation, please come in with an open mind, because we're just really talk about men's mental health tonight. All right. But yeah, so what do you guys think about the video? What do you think about it?
That's a conversation that goes on, man, in America every day, you know, and unless you've ever been through something like that, you can't relate to that. When you ask the person who gave birth to you a question, a straight question, and they give you a gone somewhere with that, you can't force them to tell the truth, man. And then deep down inside your heart, you already know for a fact what the business is. You know how I know? Because they stand on everything else they say, you know, on this and on that, on my kids and on my God and all this other stuff. But you can't stand on this. That let me know it's not. You ain't got to tell me. You already told me without telling me. And guess what? You done ruined your credibility. And that destroys relationships. You know, it really does.
What are your thoughts, R-Pain?
Yeah, I did see part of that before, but yeah, I mean, you know, what's you gonna say? I think men underestimate the fact that we're as vulnerable to women as they are to us. Like they go on these podcasts and talk about how, you know, men are the apex predator against them. The number one predator against men is women. Our biggest foe and our biggest, I guess, blessing is the same woman that's in front of them. You know what I'm saying? I think we underestimate the damage. Well, we don't. We see it, but I don't think collectively we understand that, you know, a woman can destroy the man. Now, if I was a writer and a journalist, I'll see you as my wife just saying good night. If I was like a real journalist to think about it, I would do a study about the destruction of the power and the psyche of man from the day we gave women the right to vote. and then feminism coming in and how they vote. I think the way we have to live today is based on, I have to say, what the white man acquiesced to as women in the West. If you want to talk about mental health, I think the mental health of men was much better before we start sharing big decisions with people who only think it with a hive mind. You know, I mean, it's a part of it. If you listen to the way women think, for the most part, not just black women, a lot of them are liberal, and some of the ways they vote and some of the ways they think is destruction to order. And then if we acquiesce from the time, because we have an innate, I think men in general have an innate ability to want to protect women and make sure they're equal. But that's not the game they're playing, right? Because they don't want equality, they want control. You know, and if we acquiesce all that control, you know, something's got to give. And some of it is the mental health of men. Because now you can't say anything, you can't do anything, you can't protect yourself, you can't protect your assets, you can't have your kids, you can't do shit in the West if you're a man, really. You got to fight like crazy, and it takes something out of you. I have stories, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's all tied together on how we acquiesce power to the other side.
And when I showed you guys that Arnez J video, I'm glad that we had an opportunity to see him, a successful man, still feeling the loneliness of not having attachment to his real father and his mom. I think it's one of those universal things. She did the same thing. Oh, that DNA test not real. Your daddy dead. And he say, Mama, okay, well, go with us on the next one. She went with them on the next one, and it came back that man was not his daddy. And she still, to this day, don't believe it. And that's why when Kirk received his award last night, he thanked his grandmother. He said, Grandmama, I thank you for adopting me. A 7-year-old kid that didn't have nobody, that nobody wanted. Thank you. And he thanked his wife, because his wife, daddy is on her deathbed, and she chose to travel with him, even though her daddy is about to go. She chose to travel with him to support the Lifetime Achievement Award for him last night. And so he thanked her, whatever. But Kirk is hurting. And he said, Mama, if you can't come to terms with this, I can't speak to you no more. And his mama chose, well, I'm sticking to my guns. And he hasn't spoken to her since. Like, you're leaving a hole in this man. But I want to set the stage for this, because I want to get this video out as well. If you want to join the show tonight, I saw some people in the chat asking for it. It's right in the chat. It's tagged at the top of the chat, and I just put it in the chat again. So hit that link. Your camera must be on. We got to see your face in the place so we can believe your case. But I got to show you this video of this man who is an ex-Marine who is now a mechanic. He has his daughter living with him. That the baby mama want the baby back, but they don't have a custody order in place. So she calls the police and tells the police that he's being abusive to her or the child. And I'm just going to let you guys see how this played out and how his mental health, right? This is all about mental health. How we're going to put ourselves in his shoes and see how he feels, right? Because he became very emotional about his child. And the police wasn't trying to hear it. And the worst thing is, a black female officer came up to the door first. And when he came up to the door, I think the mama called the police on her because she was finna spray the mama in the face with some mace. So the mama called the police. A black female police officer comes, ain't believing nothing the mama or the son saying. She believing the girl. And I just want y'all to see what happens to this man. You tell me where his mental health is after y'all watch this. This is terrible. I want y'all to see this, guys. If you want to come up again, the link is in the chat. Listen, guys, this channel is being great to a lot of people, and so, guys, just show some love tonight. If you want to show some love, please do so. Don't tell me you love me. Show me you love me. The link for the Cash App is at the bottom of the screen. You'll see it scrolling in just a second here. And if you want to do a super chat, you can do that as well. Show us you love us. But anyway, I want to show this video because it's important. And Y'all talking about straw, but we talking about reality. Because one thing about, did you get a chance to see the movie or Lit?
No,
okay,
I haven't.
one thing about straw is it was very over exaggerated.
Oh yeah.
Right? All these things happen to a woman in one day. You lose everything in one day. Your car, your house, police harass you, you catch a body, all this stuff in one day. He is very, very overdone. All right. Got a boss man that nobody got right now, basically. Now, come on. It's
breaking every HR rule in the book, everything, man.
Yeah, it's bad. But here's the video, guys.
Nothing. And nothing, sir. We woke up, she like, all right, she just had whatever I think is the postpartum thing. And nothing, something right now. I don't care about I ain't been up 45 minutes, sir. I just woke up. We got in the house 3 a.m. I took her out last night. We didn't get in nothing. And nothing, sir. We woke up, she like, all right, she just had whatever I think is the postpartum. Whatever. She just had she was different. She said, I want to go. I said, okay. I'll take you. I got 2 cars, the Infiniti and the Lexus right there. My car, the Cadillac, the Traverse right there, my mother car. I said, you got rides. You don't need to spend extra money. No, you need money for our child. You don't have a job right now. You need that money. I'm making a way being the man. Just let me be the man. We don't got to be together. Just let me be the man for my family, bro. That's all. She walked out the door. That was it. She walked out the door. Now, I just came up when the other 2 officers, I had my pants, I came from taking a doo-doo, morning doo-doo. Nothing happened. This is all of a bitter woman. Because she mad, you told me you didn't want me, and you found I was talking to somebody else.
But do you understand that we have to do an investigation?
I understand. But the way your officers came up, y'all got to approach people different.
No, do you know, you didn't see the way you came off. That's the problem.
Because she was the Listen, I'm a Marine, bro. I don't care about none of that, bro. So all y'all party veterans and y'all know the way I think. She pulled out a mace on my mama.
Okay.
I don't give a fuck about your badge. That's my mama.
She pulled a mace out.
No, it wasn't. My mama. No, listen. No, before you pulled up. Look. No, my mother stepped up. She didn't pull it out. Listen, can you hear me, officer? Officer, can you hear me? I heard you, right? She didn't pull a mace out when it was just me because I was talking. But when the other officer stepped forward, hold up, just hear me. Perception is key to everything. It's always more than one perception. So you got to understand both perceptions. That's why the mental breakdown right now in this situation was perception, not the actual call. You get what I'm saying? That's why I said your body language read for me to get defensive. This is my house. I'm the man of the house. This is my mama. You know what I'm saying? Just like your mama, your daughters.
Okay, wait a minute.
You get what I'm saying? But the thing was, the major point was, nothing happened today, sir. I didn't get a chance to brush my teeth, wash my face, nothing. I woke up, my mother pulled up. I brought my daughter out here to see my mother because she was about to leave. My mother came down in the living room, asked her, yo, what are y'all doing? Can we keep her? Boom. She said no. My mother said, can I take her home? I said, bro, what did I just spend all this money on a car if I can't take her home? She walked out the door.
What offense occurred?
Nothing. Literally nothing. I just woke up. I literally just woke up.
Okay, now, just make sure that you stay calm.
Stay like that.
Now, y'all see the weapon already out? They ready to whoop his ass right now.
In investigation, we got to get through this.
Bro, I'm not going to jail.
Listen, don't
I
say
didn't
that.
do nothing.
Don't say that.
Nobody said you're going to jail unless we
But y'all
unless we find out that you have to.
Bro, but y'all take the woman's side regardless. You know how many mothers get niggas locked up? Real fathers?
Hold on.
How many real fathers can't be in their child life because of a better mother?
Young man.
She's trying to take my daughter. My daughter love me. She just said that for the first time this morning. And she mad about it.
I need you to de-escalate. Stop being so emotional. And just wait.
Why wouldn't my emotions be tied to my child, sir? Why wouldn't my emotions be tied to my child?
Do you understand when you escalate, that escalates the situation?
I feel that. You right. You right. Thank you for talking to me like I'm a human.
I need you to de-escalate.
It's my fault. I shouldn't have got her pregnant, bro.
Everything is going to go according to the way you have it to go, okay?
I got witnesses in the house, bro.
Hold on. Let's just see this thing out, see what's happening. You see you got way too much out here going on, and it's a no-win situation. Okay?
For what, though?
Because you were escalated, sir. You could hear it across the
Because
air.
they wasn't hearing. She right there, that officer right there wasn't trying to hear nothing I was saying.
People can hear it across here. We're here now. We're here now. Just stay calm so that this thing can get give
Yes, one sitting right beside her, a
but
bottle.
let me let all y'all know,
my name is
I was
Officer
never
Valentine.
off the
My
rip
name is Officer
aggressive when
Valentine, badge
my
number
mom stepped in front of
2604,
me
okay?
and she whipped the mace out towards my mom. My perception when my eyes saw the canister, it was pointed towards my mommy, bro. This mommy, all y'all men right there know that mommy, bro. And some of y'all women do too, cause y'all had good mothers, bro.
But all right, let's just relax. We just gonna see how this.
Like I didn't do nothing, bro.
So when you,
Like I got messages of her wishing death on me and all that, bro. Like, can I go get the custody papers so I can show y'all?
No, they right here. I don't want you to do. Don't move. Don't
You're
move.
talking a lot. I need you to listen. I need you to de-escalate. Don't understand this. Anytime you say something about pulling a knife, anytime you say something about I'm not going to jail, you take an aggressive stance, then this is what happens. This is the result. So this is the result of your actions.
I just spent all my money on this girl and now she's trying to get me to go
Own
to
up
jail.
to it. This is the result of your actions. So we're investigating what's going on right now. Stand by.
Get your face.
She really about to take me down and take my daughter from me, bro, for nothing, bro.
We'll get Dream back.
I only had her 2 days. She's 6 months out of her whole life.
So I'm gonna talk over this. So
Hey, bro,
y'all
I'm about
see
to go
the
to
fact
jail,
that the
bro.
girl called the police to have
I'm
him
about to go to jail,
arrested just so she can
My
get a
baby mother,
restraining
this
order
baby mom,
and
bro,
get the
I didn't
baby
do
back.
shit, bro. It is what
She
it
did
is.
that to get the baby back because he got the baby.
I'm about to go to jail.
He don't. He not going. He not going
I'm not
nowhere.
going
He not
nowhere,
going
bro.
nowhere. He not going
I
nowhere.
told you to
This
Yeah,
escalate.
Bro, be
De-escalate.
real, bro. This shit, bro. Listen, bro. I've been doing good, bro. I'm tired of y'all, bro. I finally did everything I need to do to get out y'all fucking way, bro.
Okay, but you're still not out of our way yet.
Right. So just lower your voice. It's okay. He not going nowhere.
Bro, I'm about to kiss my daughter, bro. My
She
daughter
right
here
here. She right on the
My
counter.
daughter
She's
right
on the
here, bro.
counter. She's
She's
6 months.
Right,
She's
y'all
on the
can see me
counter.
in this window.
Look in that
Lean
window.
down and kiss my daughter, bro.
Kiss her.
We don't want you to go in the house because it's
You're my
already in the
daughter,
house.
bro.
Well, then just go kiss her and shut
I
up.
don't want you to go in the house.
The fuck? Just kiss her.
I'm telling him to go in the house. I just told him it's weapons in the house.
It's whose weapons in the house? Ain't no weapons in my house.
Is he in the kitchen?
Okay, he right there kissing his daughter.
Don't come in my house.
They not coming in my house. They don't have no fucking search warrant. They not coming in my house. It's no weapons. People can say anything.
I'm a man of
They can say
integrity, man.
anything.
I
You
got
can
my
say-
daughter, bro.
He got
She tried
his
to
daughter
take my
was on the
daughter, bro.
counter. That's it.
That's it. You
He
think I'm
just
lying?
picked up his
I
daughter.
really think I'm playing with
She's
y'all,
6
bro.
months.
My daughter, bro. She trying to take my daughter from me, bro.
He ain't doing nothing in there but standing there kissing his daughter. He looking right at him. Aren't you? Aren't you looking at him? Can you see him? Can you see him? Let me open the window. Don't say that.
I don't know, bro.
Look, so he can see you. So he can't say he can't see you.
That's all right. Bro, she loud.
She crying
okay,
for you.
Okay, man. Okay, man. Okay, man. Okay. I'm sorry, mommy. I didn't want all this for you. Y'all see, I'm not on nothing, bro.
It's all about his daughter.
It's all about my daughter, bro. This is all about a parental fight, bro. That she don't want to have that hard conversation. Do you want to be together or not? How we gonna do this? Is we gonna go week to week or we gonna go every other weekend? I work 3 jobs, bro. I take care of my daughter and my baby mom. Whenever she asks, bro, I send money, bro. And I still don't get to see my daughter, bro. I still don't. Twice I done sent Apple Pay money and she never showed up. So what are y'all doing all this for, bro? She could have gave me the opportunity to talk like, bro, you think I got witnesses? I got witnesses. Nothing happened. So what is all of this for? Nothing literally happened, officers. Like, what? What y'all want me to give her the baby or something? What's going on?
No, they don't.
Stand by.
Thomas, come here. Real quick, I can't move from the door.
You fine.
Thank you very much.
You got 1, 2, 3. You got 4 gloved, 5 gloved up, 2 not gloved up. He gonna lock his ass up. It's just depending on how. Daddy, I know you looking at this, so can you call me and let us know what's the next steps after they do their investigation? Because this, man. Wait a minute. Okay, what's going on? What's going on, sir?
Ma'am.
I'm just asking what's going
What's going
on.
on? Can I answer the question? Just tell me, bro.
Okay, they getting ready to lock you up. That's all y'all had to say. I've been telling them y'all gonna lock his ass up. I'm not stupid. I done dealt with this shit for what? Good. Give me your phone.
Huh? For what?
I don't know.
Nobody reported nothing yesterday. Hold on. Let me make this phone call. Hold on, baby girl. Hold on.
He said, why am I getting arrested? The officer said, I don't know.
Let me quiet my door down. That's it.
They can do that a little bit. Yeah, it's not like they got a whole.
I don't even got a report.
All you gotta do just kiss Dream, give her here, and then go ahead. Go ahead, so they don't come in my house. Come on, so they don't come in my house. All right, you get ready to come in. Put her down.
Chill. Come this way.
No, if I move this stuff, so
Bro,
they
y'all don't gotta be that aggressive, bro. Chill out.
They're going to knock me down and go get you.
Front door, mom. I'm not trying to look. I see that, mom.
Okay.
Come on, mom. Boo, here, take my daughter.
Thomas, hold her. Hold her.
Like all this.
Take her.
Well,
Go ahead. I gotta make sure you got everything out your pocket.
Bring your phone. Come on out. Come on.
No, we not. You're not taking your phone. I got your phone. I got your phone. They not taking shit.
I don't know how he's going to.
They gonna lock you up. Charles, you want me to take your scrunchie? Because they gonna take that out your hair. Yeah. You can give it to me. I'm right here. I'm right here. Give it here. And give me the scrunchie.
So, all right, I gotta go to jail.
I got you. I got you. All y'all ain't gotta grab him though. All y'all ain't gotta grab him. Give it here. It's just a fucking lighter. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Whatever happens, it's gonna be on you.
It ain't gonna be on me because he's getting in handcuffs now. Don't worry about it.
Just don't escalate.
Don't worry about it.
Bro, you look like me, bro.
That's okay.
Don't worry about
You
it.
probably don't even know we probably family. We might be. That's how shit work.
Don't worry about it,
Don't
Dream.
even be talking. You know, it might be my uncle, bro. Y'all be fucked up.
You came off.
Bro, you understand man and mama.
Yeah, they locking my son up. They locking him up. I got your car key. Ain't nobody, I'm not moving nothing. At least they ain't have to fuck him up. Thank you, Jesus. Say what you gotta say. Just say it. Just say it.
Let me talk to y'all. This car right here, I bought it. It's in her name.
God, Jesus.
I bought that car. I'm not trying to be difficult with her. My kid's right there, my mother. She can have it. I don't want to make nothing hard for my baby mother, bro. She makes everything difficult. You can have your car. I bought it for you. Mom, give her the key.
The key to this car?
Key to the Lex. Just take all my mechanic tools out. And you know I gotta run a load today, bro.
I'm going to keep everything.
Don't let her get my door.
I'm leaving everything right where the fuck it's at. Charles, but you know I don't have custody. I'm just a grandmother. I'm just a grandmother. And that's the mother. I can't, you're going to jail, so I don't have a ground. I don't have a ground as a grandmother.
So y'all really
You can, Charles, they gonna give me your shoestrings. I told you put on shoes that ain't had no strings in them. Oh, okay. But I don't have no grounds. So when she get her stuff, she gonna get drained.
I already know what she about to do. She about to go try and fake get a CPO order to keep me on my door like this shit ain't stopping nothing.
We can get. She not getting no Lexus. She not getting. She not gonna take the Lexus.
You said Lex when you said give her the key. So
I said the Infinity give her the key.
you got the key.
I'm not giving nothing to nobody.
Oh, well, your mother not giving her the key.
I'll give her that key.
I was never served. I was never served.
You can deal with that in court.
It don't matter even if I'm not staying away from my daughter.
Yes, you are. Don't tell him that. You got to understand, everything you say is being used against you in the court of law.
Bro, I don't want to be with her.
Okay, you don't have to be with her. They're going to allow you to be a father.
I just want to be a see? Y'all see the shit?
That's all right. Thank you so much.
Look, can I ask y'all a question? Can I before y'all put me in, I need to ask y'all all real quick. Is there any way I could get some from y'all, bro? Because this my daughter, bro. This is all because look, bro, she trying to get an order on me so she could take full custody of my daughter and take my daughter from me. Is there any way? Do y'all have any advice to me, bro? Do y'all have any advice to give me, bro?
You can go to court. Go to court. You got the papers? You got the papers.
All right, thank y'all for not y'all. Like, thank you and thank you. Hey, thank you for having more patience than your counterpart, bro.
Yeah. You know
hey, beautiful. You've got a text message.
I ain't in denial. I know where the fuck my kids get their shit from. I don't know what the fuck, but I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Ain't nobody coming in my motherfucking house or nothing. Fuck y'all. I'm not doing shit.
So I gotta call a sergeant because you won't bring her daughter?
I'm not kidnapping her daughter. That's my granddaughter. I said I'm not doing anything. If she want to come in here, she know how to open the door. She been in my house. So leave me alone. I just said to get it from his mother. Jay, come in here and get your daughter if you want it. Come get her. I'm not dealing with these shit. I don't have to deal with them motherfuckers. This is my house. Man, fuck them. They not doing shit. Fuck them. They got what they came for. Leave me the fuck alone. Fuck them. He gonna take accountability for his actions. She act like I'm not gonna give her daughter. Like she ready to go right now. Get the fuck. Close my gate, Tommy. I'm not coming shit. Fuck them. They not for me. They not for me. Fuck them. I said he get it from his mama. I don't go to 6D. I never go to the district. I go straight to CPAP. I'm not fucking with these motherfuckers. They got my son. Let them keep him. Now get the fuck. Fuck them bitches. They got who the fuck they came for. You good.
Now the baby mama finna come in the house. The baby mama finna come in the house.
You good. You good. I wanted to make sure they didn't book my son. That's the only reason why I was out there. And that police officer acting like she gotta take you. That right. It's okay.
It's gonna be just audio, but here come the baby mama.
Come on.
Come out the car seat, because you just, that's the problem. It's okay. I'm taking a handy with me.
You said what?
I'm taking an infinity with me so I can get back to home. And I will come back and say this is yours. He's not here.
Where is the key? You took it off the ring?
No. It's still on this. That's that one. This one.
Well, no, I'm not doing that.
So I can't take the infinity?
He said no.
He said I could take the infinity. He just said he bought it for me.
No, he said he brought the black one for you.
That's the infinity.
Oh, you talking about the black
yes,
one?
I don't want the silver card. It has nothing to do with me. Nobody's trying to ruin my life. I was talking to and shit on this thing. I'm the one getting beat on. It's still trying to be showing up to people.
It's not about you getting beat on.
It is about that.
No, it's not about that.
The fuck I haven't walked in that man for him not bother him. Let him have his daughter, and it's still a problem. He won't even let me fucking leave.
Wait a minute, bro. Here.
What? Can you give me the infinity key, please? I'm about to put the car seat in that car.
It's not even locked. It shouldn't be locked.
It is locked because he got the key reprogram.
Okay, well, stop yelling at me, because I'm not the one doing it. I'm not. Don't yell at me.
Jesus Christ.
Black man, you on green, bro.
Yeah, whatever the hell that is.
I got it, man. R-Pain, what you think? Man?
Man, listen, I was just frustrated listening to it. You know, his mother was there, so we know exactly why he acted the way he did.
Right.
Period. I mean, there's nothing else to say. All of these things where you might say, people are just talking. The men grow up with just the women. They act like, emotional fools. Now, I understand his emotions were running wild. So I can't say that, I can't get on him because I don't know how I would act in some kind of situation. But I think I'd be a little bit more level-headed than that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
you never really know. But some of it is, I mean, it was just too much. I couldn't take it. I really, it was just a what. I mean, listen, man, if you know that at this moment, no matter what you say, you're not going to correct anything at that moment. Just do what you have to do, get that shit situation to the next level, and then where you get a chance to fight back. And that wasn't the place. And then you got his mother yapping and crapping and shit, and you could tell exactly where he got it from. Now, I didn't know he was such a big dude. So, that little munchkin ass cop, she's not going to talk to him. She's going to use all her weapons.
Why you think they sent all them folks out there, man? They knew what they were dealing with.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So, I mean, I don't know if that's kind of standard fare. I mean, they try to have overwhelming odds in their favor in a lot of cases. They don't even have to be that serious. A lot of them, instead of eating donuts, they have to work for a couple of hours. So I don't know. Trey said he knows some of these guys. So
yeah,
I just thought
I work with them.
Trey.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah. So for whatever reason, my camera isn't working. I don't know what's going on, but
Good, Trey.
the guy that was holding his baton behind his back, I worked with him. The guy, I don't know if you guys could see him in the back, but he left. He went and got the less than lethal gun. If you go and watch the video back, he's holding like a red little object. That's the less than lethal gun that they use. It shoots out rubber, like little rubber pellet bullets or whatever. So he went back and got that. And then the other guy there was my partner for maybe about a year. We rode in the car every day. As a matter of fact, he actually helped me one day when I got a flat tire on my motorcycle. He was the one that helped me patch it up. So I know those guys. I know those guys a lot. I actually know where they're at. And I was trying to pay attention to see if the mom looks familiar. I'm more than certain I've come across the mom before because I worked 6D. That was the district I worked in. I worked in 6D. So that's the district I grew up in with 6D. So, but let me explain something to you guys that what I heard.
Go ahead, Trey.
And based on his behavior, I absolutely believe that when she says that he was being abusive, he more than likely was being abusive because he had an inability to withhold his emotions while he was going through that entire process. Right? He seems like he's well versed enough to know how to deal with this and that he has to go through some sort of court system to be able to deal with his daughter. So we're not talking about a stupid guy here. We're talking about an emotional guy here. But for whatever reason, he doesn't want to do things the way, I don't think he's going to win in court either, but that would be a better stance for him rather than him sort of trying to have these standoffs. You're not going to win with the police and you're not going to win with the woman. You're not going to win either way. So he needs to find a different way to handle this. But I absolutely believe when she said that he didn't let her leave the house, I can see that with his size and with his emotions and his inability to sort of behave, to kind of handle that. I can see him popping off and flying off the collar. I can see maybe, he probably more than like, I don't think he's beating her per se, but I can see that they probably have been physical towards each other before. So I do believe that. Now, I'm guessing that's what he was arrested for. He was arrested for DV assault is what I'm guessing that was the arrest, what the arrest was for. And I can see it. I can believe it. I've dealt with guys that when you can tell the difference between a guy, she's lying, she's clearly lying, versus a guy that more than likely it probably did happen the way she said it happened. And she could possibly be embellishing. Women lie all the time. I'm not saying that that's not possible. Women lie all the time. But when I watch him, he did this entire act when he knew what the end result was going to be. Everybody knew what the end result. His mama even said it. You're going to jail, right? And here's the thing. In DC, somebody has to go. Somebody got to go for the simple fact of if they leave and somebody actually gets hurt to the point where they die, the police department is going to be held liable because they didn't separate them. I can guarantee you in the morning when the attorney calls her and says, what do you want to do about this? She's going to say, I don't want to do anything about it. and he'll be out before noon. Typically, this is sort of like a cooling off period. What happens most times, and this is just to separate the two of them, right? But the only person that's really going to getting crushed here is that baby, unfortunately, because we have two parents that can't get this figured out. He can't go to court because he probably look like he's living with his mama, so he can't show that he's providing. He's going to be well enough to provide for the parent. And we all know that in order to take a kid from a mom, she got to be on drugs and some more. It's got to be really, really, really bad. And that holds true in the DC family court system. So I think there's some truth to what he's saying, obviously, and there's some truth to what she's saying. And it's a tough job to try to find the middle ground here, to try to find out who's actually telling the truth. And you have to go with the more than likely scenario. But in a DV situation, the one thing that they can't do is they can't just leave them there. They can't just leave them there, because then that puts the police department on liable, and it's actually against the general orders. So officers can be fired behind it. And I've seen officers get fired behind it, which is why somebody was going, either her or him, but somebody was going to go. I think the mom kind of figured that out already. She'd been around the block. She knows how this works, right? The issue here is that when you have an emotional man, he can't be level-headed and actually have a conversation with her to sort of work this out. I have to remind myself of this a lot often when I'm dealing with the mother of my child, that if I get amped up, she's only gonna replicate, she's gonna reciprocate it. She's gonna give it right back to me. I have to maintain a cool, calm, collected head so that we can actually have a logical, rational, mature conversation about what we want to do with our daughter. It's always tough to watch, but imagine being there on the scene and having to arrest a man who just simply, probably more than likely wants to be a father. At the end of the day, that's probably what this all boils down to, is he just wants to be a dad, and you have to arrest him because you have to take what she's saying. You can't just say, oh, she's lying. You know what I mean? Unless you can prove it, irrefutably prove it that she's lying, you have to take her word for it. It's tough business.
You know what, Trey? Let me explain to y'all exactly what I saw and what I heard. Okay. And I'm gonna paint a picture for you guys, and you stop me if I'm wrong. Okay. In social judgment theory, there's this thing called a double bind. Basically, what it is, that's when somebody asks you a question, and no matter what, you're gonna be wrong. It'll be like if somebody says, "Why are you always so emotional?" You know, either you defend yourself, or you go off at the handle. You know what I'm saying? In this particular situation. She leverages this man's heart for his daughter and binds him in a situation where it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. That's like we talked about earlier. You're going to take away his ability to provide and to protect his daughter by calling the police. So whether he tells the truth or not, they're not going to believe it. He's either going to spend time in jail, which takes away from the money. You know what I'm saying? He's going to have to use to provide his daughter. Said, which she can use that in court and say he's not fit and he's not able to provide because he's always in jail, of which she called the police on him. Or she can turn around and say, you know what? He's taking his daughter away from me. And now he's going to jail regardless. So now he's got a record. So either way it goes, even if he protects his daughter, he's going to go to jail. And even if he says he's innocent, he's going to go to jail. And I think a lot of men get into situations like this where it's a no-win situation. So in a case like that, you would have to reframe the scenario, the question, and figure out exactly a way how to get out of this. The only way for him to get out of this one is to actually call a lawyer and let the lawyer do his talking, because he's not going to be in the frame of mind to protect himself or to think rationally. Just like his mama was telling him, don't say nothing because they're going to use it against you. If you don't show emotion for your child, you're a monster. But if you turn around and you show love for your daughter, then guess what? You're still a monster. You know what I mean? So either way it goes, he's going to get put in a double bind. And that's exactly what a lot of women do. They will actually put men in this situation in a double bind. And no matter what you're going to do, you're going to be messed up. So I think, guys, we're going to talk about this Thursday on Between the Lines podcast on how we can get out of situations like this. Because I think a lot of men, the reason why they're in situations like this is because they don't know how to get out of it. So if we arm ourselves with information on how we can handle situations like this, then going forward, then we'll know how to handle it. So we'll talk about that earlier. Arpain, was I wrong on that particular situation or not? Trey, you can jump in too.
It makes sense to me. It makes sense. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. He said something. I don't know if you guys caught this, but he said something was probably the most reflective thing he said throughout that entire thing. He said, it's my fault I'm the one that got her pregnant.
Yeah, I did.
He said that. He said that. I don't know if you guys caught that.
Yeah, I did.
So we're talking about fixing these. We're talking about fixing these problems. Well, we got to start at the root.
There you go.
You can't just drop that seed in anybody, because this could be the result. And by the way, it doesn't matter if you're married or not. This speaks to the character of the woman and who you're dealing with. You could be married, the same thing could happen. I've seen married men get temporary protection orders put against them and get kicked out of their own homes. Right? So this is a matter of who are you choosing? And he said he had a reflective moment. He's like, dang, he's like, yeah, you know what? This kind of on me. Here's the thing. To me, I have never, and I got law enforcement experience, I have never seen I'm trying to be a good dad work when the police were there. It may work in court. It may work in court. Every single time I've seen them try to pull this, it never works. Right? I think what happens, especially with this guy, when you're around a mother who is as emotional as she is, she's no better than he is.
No,
he's adopted those character traits.
Yeah.
He did a whole lot more talking than I ever would have to the police. Now that I'm a civilian, I don't say a word to the police. I identify myself and I shut the fuck up. I don't say nothing else. I am not required. You are not required to cooperate with the police. You are required to cooperate with investigations when there is an actual investigation happening, when somebody's been charged with a crime, or you've been called to the stand, you've been summoned or subpoenaed to a stand. Yeah, there could be some consequences if you choose not to cooperate then. But when somebody say, hey, what happened here tonight? You just hand me your ID and I got nothing to say. If you have probable cause to make an arrest, then make the arrest. Otherwise, I don't have anything to say. We put police officers in positions where you're doing a job for them.
Right. So when you say they don't, so Trey, just to be clear, when you say you don't have to cooperate with the police, you mean you don't need to be compelled to say anything.
You don't have to talk about anything.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You are required to identify yourself. And by the way, that it doesn't have to be correctly identify yourself. You could say any name and any date of birth. A lot of the times, as long as you don't say some crazy stuff like Daffy Duck or Mickey Mouse, which we know that's not your name, right? The odds would say more than likely it's not your name. But if you were to say my name is Kevin Ross and I was born December 1st, 1973, they're going to run that name and whatever comes back is whatever comes back. You have a requirement to identify yourself, but that's it. If the cops show up to your home, where does it say you have to let them in?
It doesn't.
The Fourth Amendment protects you against unlawful searches and seizures. You don't have to let them in your home. If they need to come in your home, guess what they'll go get? They'll get a warrant and they'll let themselves in your home. Like people, we have people who, so when I'm watching this guy, I'm like, why is he doing all this talking? Shut up. They've already made a decision. You're going to get arrested anyway, based on what she said. The best thing you can do is be quiet, not cooperate in that particular sense. And if they want to take you, let them take you. That way, when we have to write the report, you know what our report's going to say? When they say, well, what did the suspect say? Nothing.
Nothing. That's right.
They didn't say anything. Versus this guy, well, what did the defendant say? Well, he said this, and meanwhile, in most cases, a lot of guys don't pay attention. They're just corroborating the story of the complaining witness. You're just okay. So you did do this, but you don't understand though. She's trying to take my baby from me. We're not here for that. This isn't a custody case. We're not here on a custody case. We're here because we got an assault call. You see where I'm going with this? Like the more
on top of that, Trey, somebody mentioned something about a weapon. You know what I'm saying? And you know what?
There you go.
Misremember things. You know what I'm saying? Until you got the tape.
And let me tell you something. The girlfriend always knows where two things are. She always knows where the money is, and she knows where the weapons are. You know how many homes I've been in, and I've said, are there any weapons in the house? And she said, yeah, he got a gun upstairs. She said it, not him. She knows where the gun is because she's been around him. She knows he carries a gun. She know where he put the gun at when it's in the car. She know all this stuff. So a lot of the times when you see these guys and it's like, yeah, I get where he's coming from. He wants to be a dad. But once you start to dig into these stories and start to find out what's really going on, there's a lot more meat on that bone than we think. And suddenly the guys aren't as innocent as they look. Right. From the beginning. Once we start to dig into this, if that call, and I'm assuming that call for that many officers to be there, that was a domestic violence assault call that probably came out. More than likely. It's not a custody call because police officers in DC don't handle custody. The courts do. So that many officers wouldn't be there for a custody call. They would have went, they would have checked to make sure the baby's okay. The baby's okay. All right, y'all got to work it out. Y'all got to figure it out or take it down to a courthouse. So that's an assault call. But go ahead.
No, go ahead, Trey. Go ahead, Trey.
No, I just wish more men would understand that silence is your friend. Be quiet. Identify yourself. Yeah, you got to identify yourself and then shut up. You know, and if the biggest charge they're gonna put on you, well, you weren't cooperating with our investigation. So be it. But don't hand it to them on a plate. A lot of guys, because you're emotional. And when you're emotional, you can't think straight. And when you can't think straight, you start talking about shit that don't really matter. They don't care. They're not there for that baby. They're there for you. They're there for you. That's why old boy is holding that baton. That's why old boy went and got that rubber. That rubber, that less than lethal, it's not for the baby. It's for you. Wake up. Wake up. They're there for you. So why would you hand them their case? And by the way, I count 6-7 officers. I count 7 different video angles of body cam footage. So you did all this talking for what? Just be quiet. Listen, especially when you're dealing with DV. And I've said this before, I don't understand it. If I know a woman is calling the police on me for a DV charge, I'm not sticking around to have a conversation. I'm gone. Go get your warrant and come get me. You're gonna have to come get me. I'm not gonna stick around and try to fight my case. And this idea that you can fight a case on the street, you can't. You can't.
You can't.
You'll never win that way, as we just witnessed. You'll never win that way. And you also have to remember, it's one of you. They got a radio to call 30 more guys. It's just one of you. If you beat up all 6 of them, they're going to get on actually, they don't even have to get on the radio lit. There's a little button at the top of our radio that's orange. They just press that button and they all coming.
That's the jump out boys.
It make a big loud sound on loud sound on the radio. It goes whoa, 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 like that. And that gets the attention of every officer that's on that radio channel. Because we know to listen for it. That is the universal sign officer needs help. So you're not going to win this. So the best thing to do is to work from the root cause, reverse engineered. We got to pick better women. And if we do make a mistake, because it can happen, women can trick you, right? They can put you in a trick bag. I got put in a trick bag before. It can happen. If you're dealing with a woman who decides and she wants to weaponize the police against you, you got to stop dealing with her.
Yeah.
You should never speak. You should never speak to this woman ever again. Ever again. There should always be a third party and a camera around. You should be speaking through someone to talk to her. Because everything, and the mom was right, everything you saying is going to be used against you. So
you know what? Go ahead, Trey.
No.
Well, like we having technical difficulties tonight, man. You know what I think, our pain?
Yeah.
If I reverse engineer this thing, you know, I love it to color outside the line sometimes. You know what's probably going to happen? She's going to probably say, I was experiencing postpartum. I was emotional. I thought he was cheating on me. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. And now that I'm a mom, I'm vulnerable, you know, and the dude ain't no bad looking dude. You know what I'm saying? He's 6 foot tall, look like, and I'm pretty sure, you know, other women probably want to holler at him too. You know what I'm saying? So the security and the safety of her, the future of her child, she's going to cut off all the competition for the other women and put him, as Trey said, put him in the trick bag to make sure she's secure. his procurement of his resources until he dies. You see what I'm saying? So I think that's the main reason why that's probably going to happen. That's usually what happens outside of the color line, because it's kind of hard to prove domestic violence after the fact. So that's the main reason why they have to go in and do an investigation and all this other stuff. You know what I mean? So it's going to, in the meantime, it's going to take away the baby from him, which is going to hurt him because he truly wants to be a father. You can tell that by looking at him. And a little girl was just as cute and precious as she want to be. So I can understand why he would want to, protect his daughter. And at the same time, he said he works 3 jobs. So my thing is, when does he have time to talk to other women? So I have to make sure I have to cull outside the lines and say, what's really going on here? Is she going through something? Does she feel like he talks to her? Think about it. If he works 3 jobs, he's really not going to have time to be talking to her all day long. So what she's going to get in her mind thinking, oh, he hollering at somebody else. And next thing you know, I'm going to make sure he ain't hollering about it. Because if I know he in jail, I know ain't no other woman talking to him. You see what I'm saying, Arpain?
I hear you, but I mean, who knows what goes on in the mind of, these chicks, man, from the street. The point is, she just got mad at him for whatever reason. It could be he probably is cheating with somebody else. And even if he wasn't, if he just started to show more affection to the kid, whether she was the mother or not, that also might piss her off, right? Because now all he wants is the baby, and he doesn't necessarily want her. I think that's a tremendous part of a lot of this domestic, not the violence part, but the bitter woman part. You stroke him out, you get a baby, and he said, okay, I'm obligated to do something for the baby, but you discard the chick because you really don't like her in the first place. Well, they feel that shit. When you leave a bitter woman behind, man, you're going to have to face the consequences, especially depending on where her head's at, And she's a hood rat. She ain't leaving without the gift bag in the trunk, she's not.
But Arpay, we talked about this yesterday, and I think the idea is that a lot of guys think that the court is going to be beneficial to you somehow, and in most cases, it's not. It's not. Yeah, are there some guys who are winning court cases? Yes, there are some guys that win court cases, but we know the exception doesn't make the rule. Right? So most of the guys who are going to go to court, the only way that you win these sort of situations when you're dealing with women and children is you got to have some bread to be able to win these cases. You got to have a lot of money because it's going to take a lot of lawyers and a lot of time, and those lawyers need to get paid while it's taking time to be able to fight this correctly. But when you have guys like this that are having babies and he's working 3 jobs, which tells me everything I need to know that he's not financially where he wants to be, he can't fight this case.
Nope.
And now they've got 20 minutes of police body cam footage to prove that he can't fight this case.
And so then he's an emotional wreck.
Yeah, he's an emotional wreck. And so now you're just digging yourself a deeper hole, a deeper hole, a deeper hole. When in actuality, what the better thing to do was to implement some sort of system where the child goes through the grandmother or goes through a cousin or something like that until you can get yourself to a point that you can financially, now I'm about to bang your ass down in court. I'm about to kill you now because I can afford to do it now. But if you can't outprice that court system, they're going to wash you in that courtroom. I'm telling you, I spent $27,000 and I still ended up being a weekend dad. So, you know what I mean? It takes money. We're talking $50,000, maybe $60,000. It takes a lot of money. And that also depends on where you're at. You're in California, you could probably double that. You're in New York, you could probably double that, right? So it just depends on where you're at. But this idea that, well, like the mom said, well, you're going to have to go to court. Going to court ain't going to help him. Going to court is not going to help him because he's going to have to explain why he now has a DV charge. He has a DV charge. He's got footage of him being emotionally unstable, right? And he's got to explain the 3 job thing. Well, how are you going to be able to care for a child and you got 3 jobs? You just dug yourself a hole. What I suggest, and this is, if I were on that scene to him, this is what I would have told him. Look, number one, you got to find a way to consolidate 3 jobs into 1 career. Let's start there. That's got to be your number one thing. 3 jobs into 1 career. Once you get a career, you need to buy a home. You have a child. You need to buy a home. You need to be able to show some type of stability from this point on, right? Once you do that, then you go into that court system, and now you have at least a fighting chance because you look like a stable dad, who has a career and a home. But if you go in there saying, I still live with my mama and I work 3 jobs, you're going to be paying child support and you may get your kid every other weekend.
Right.
That's how that works.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. My man, Prototype in the building.
Oh, yeah. We can't hear you.
I hear you.
What's happening, Prototype? Talk to us, man. You're on mute, brother.
Yeah, someone
on mute. Mute Monster got you. No, you still on mute.
I'm not on.
There you go. We got you. We got you.
You got me?
Yeah, we got you.
Cool, man. We over here talking about child support.
Yeah, man. Prototype, first of all, we get started, man. How you doing, brother?
Man, I don't even know. I'm good. I'm good. I can't complain.
Good.
I'm actually doing pretty good. But I heard y'all talking about just mental health, and I gotta kind of jump on because just earlier, even though I'm doing good in life, I get moments of, man, I ain't doing that hot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I should just crash this car right now. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
It happens all the time. So, but as far as child support, man, I don't know if you really gotta have it all together as much as you say. It's a great starting point, though, Trey. I don't mean to instantly come on and disagree with you, bro. I agree, putting your best foot forward. You know what I mean? But I also want to make sure that we don't discourage men from not trying if they don't have their stuff together as well. If you understand my point.
Well, imagine how discouraged they're going to be if they go to court and they lose.
I get
how
it.
discouraged are they going to be then?
But then it's like, if they have to wait until all their ducks is in a row, then they might be like, man, I'm never going to be ready. I'm never going to get right enough to, do it. So, and that child day by day is going without living with the best parent, without the best possible situation. You know what I'm saying? So.
Oh, it's a balance, Joe. It's got to be a balance, right? I mean, when you fight, right, you want to have a way to get the best odds in your favor as you can, right? So if you're realistic with yourself and depending on what you need to get done, you want to at least have some, I guess, foundation to fight from, correct? Like, for example, if you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not like he's not going to see his kid, right? If you want more, you need to be in a position to, I guess, command more based on where your status is, right? If I'm living with my mom, that's one thing. But if I get my apartment with a room that's separate for the girl, now I have a little bit more, fuel for my fire when I go to court, right? I'm setting this thing up so I can have my family in there. So, I mean, it's those kind of things. I think you fight a battle when you're at different levels. I mean, if you're a novice, you don't want to fight the champ, right? And then, but if you got a few bouts under your belt, maybe now you're a little bit more prepared. I think that's the way we need to look at it without discouraging people that there's a fight coming, but maybe right now I'm not ready for it.
It ain't no fight, Arpain. You're at war.
I mean, yeah, war. Yeah.
You are at war. It's a lot of guys here thinking. A lot of guys out here thinking that you can pussyfoot around like that. No, the moment she goes and files that motion, you are at war, sir. And when I was served, that's exactly what I told her. I said, my exact words, first salvo. That's exactly what I said to her. She had no idea what I was talking about. I said, you just started a war. You just started a war by doing this. I thought maybe we can still be friends. No, sweetheart.
No.
You're my sworn enemy now. because you have put me in a position now where I have to
got
go
the
to a
gun.
court and I have to prove that I have a home. I have to prove that I have a room. I have to prove that I can financially afford this child. She didn't have to do this stuff. They didn't ask her where she lived. They asked me where I live. They asked me, where will she sleep? Does she have a bed? As if I would have my daughter sleeping on the goddamn floor. I'm the one that got to ask these questions. We had war. I'm the one that had to fill out a worksheet saying how much money I made, where my income was coming from, what tax bracket I was in. Did I have any other sources of income coming in? I'm the one that had to do that. So no, we're not friends, lady. We're not buddies. And this is not a fight. This is an all-out war, which means ain't no fucking Geneva Convention. I'm going to do every dirty-handed, backhanded tactic to win. I will say you are on cocaine and pour the cocaine on top of you. I will do anything because we're at war.
You know what, Trey? I'm glad you mentioned that. Let me tell you how God worked. Listen, I was actually in one of the TikTok chats today, and I heard something that was probably the most profound thing I've ever heard of. They said, as Black folks, there are three things that we don't get taught. We don't get taught about reproduction, we don't get talked about finances, and we don't talk about war. We just talked about all three just now. This guy didn't handle his reproduction. You know what I'm saying? She took away his money, so he can't provide. And guess what? Now you got to fight, and you don't know how to fight. And that's probably the most profound thing I ever heard in my life. I said, I'm going to write that down. And I'd be doggone. When Troy brought that up saying that you at war, it just clicked right then and there. I was like, you know what? Dude was absolutely correct. So that's the reason why when I go to these different places, I take notes. And this fit this check the box. Every last one. Prototype, what you think about that?
I agree. Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you clear.
Okay, I absolutely agree. Once we in court, you were absolutely at war, and you got to treat it as such. You know what I'm saying? I think too often we go in. You sound like you got full custody of your kids, Trey. So I did too. So I kind of understand that plight, right? But when it comes to court, there is no friendship, and I will pour the cocaine on top of you and be like, yeah, she's on crack. Because you almost have to, because that process is so grueling and it's so demeaning to you, and they just don't understand that until they go through it themselves on that side of it. It's so disrespectful of a process. You know what I mean? So we got to stop. Men got to stop going in thinking like, oh, well, it's both our kids. No, those are your kids. You need to get full custody. You need to have complete control over what's going on with your lineage.
Absolutely. Hell yeah, that's your kids because you're the only one paying for it. You paying the attorneys, you paying the court fees, and you paying the child support. Yeah, and I told her straight up, that's my daughter. At this point, because see, before you filed that paperwork, it was our daughter. Once your mama handed me those papers and served me, that became my daughter.
Now it's mine. Yeah.
Now it's mine. It's my child now. And now, if you want to fight, let's fight. And I remember asking the judge, at what age is an appropriate age where she can decide where she wants to live?
12.
The look on her mom's face was like, yeah, I just gave you an inkling into where I'm going with this. You got to fight. This is an 18-year war now. And if she goes to college, it may last a little longer than that.
That's right.
This is a war. We are at war. And I'm glad you said what you said, Lit, because we have a lot of men out here who are suckers for love and they pussyfooting around thinking, oh no, she's going to be nice to me. Meanwhile, she was in business from the very beginning.
Yes.
And so that's when I see you guys, R-Pain, Prototype, you guys that are married, what do I always say, R-Pain? It is lightning in a bottle. You guys have captured lightning in a bottle to find a woman who ain't with all this bullshit. She don't act like this. She doesn't behave this way. She doesn't think like this, because the majority of the women that are out here, they're programmed for this. And I talked about this last night, R-Pain. There's a spectrum. Just because she ain't doing it now, don't mean she won't do it later. Doesn't mean she can't become this type of woman at some point in time. It is a spectrum. So if you've captured a woman who turns her nose up at this type of behavior, why are you calling the police on that man? The two of y'all can't just sit down and work this out. If you have that kind of woman, you have legitimately
captured
lightning in a bottle.
You got one, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, by the way, what's the age anyway? Is it 14?
I think it's
The
12.
judge told me 12.
12. Wow. Okay.
The judge said at 12, bring her back in if she wants to live with you. You know, they take the kid into the chambers and they'll have their little conversation. And if she believes that she hasn't been coerced and coached, she'll go where she's old enough basically to choose where she wants to live.
Is that state by state though?
I would imagine so. This was for Maryland, so I would imagine so. I would imagine that it would be different in different states. But I wanted to make sure that was on the record, that I asked that question to let them know this is what's coming down the pipe. My daughter will be 7 this year. So in 5 years, we're going to revisit this. We're going to revisit this because this is where you put me. This is a position you put me in now. Because it wasn't my idea to go this route. I didn't want to have to play this sort of tug of war with our child. That to me is, in my opinion, sort of it's an immature thing for two parents to sort of do the tug of war thing, right? I think two parents should be able to sit down and collectively decide what's best for the child, and whatever that is, move forward from that point. But once you start involving courts and some old white man and some old black lady to tell me what's best for my child and my family, yeah, we got a motherfucking problem now. We got a huge problem.
You know what you did, Trey? In essence, you put a date on it. You know what I mean? Just like when people have, when they get married or whatever, they put a date on it. You just gave her a deadline and a date and say, hey, look, you might as well go ahead and enjoy it now because this is what's going to happen. This is what's coming.
Well, that 12 years is going to be on you in the lightning, man. You have kids, time seems to go faster, man, than ever.
Yes, it does. Let me go ahead and read this super chat, man. From Antoine, he said, when it comes to situations like this, women are willing to compromise. He said, females want absolute control of everything.
Mm-hmm.
I think he meant women are not willing to compromise.
Yeah, he meant
not willing. Okay.
Not willing to compromise, yeah.
I'll say this, right? I had that kind of kid's mom that called the cops, put you in all types of trouble. It had me having the worst situation possible. You know what I'm saying? Once I won full custody, I never had another problem out of her. Like all the trouble she was putting me through before that full custody, afterwards, she has cooperated 100%. So it's just crazy how that switch could flip. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, the control was going. So then, what's the use? What's the the point?
I'm gonna get Antoine his $5 super chat. We're gonna hit right back, man. Give me a second. Here we go.
My name is Rosa. They say I'm supposed to sit in the back, but I'm tired here, so I'm finna sit right closer. Come get me up then. It's gonna take about 3, 4, 5 men. And I ain't finna repeat myself again. Fight me. Somebody get her. My name is Eve. I didn't believe. I trusted Satan, ate that apple, he deceived. And yeah, I'm naked. I thought I was awakened. I'm the first to do it. Y'all my daughters, we related. Trick on Big Harry. Don't call me slave hoe. The hell? From the underground railroad, busted down mouth of dope. When I say run, you better go. In the dark, that Glocky glow.
Appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat, Antoine. Appreciate it. Go ahead, fellas.
But
it's tough business. This whole thing, child support, dealing with the mother of your child, it's tough business. And if you're a guy like me, you think that you're doing a decent job at vetting, you're asking the right questions, and you still end up in the same predicament at the end, right? It can make you start to question your system, or make you start to question, are you picking bad women? And I think ultimately a lot of guys who have to realize is that sometimes this was just the plan from the beginning. She wanted a child, she got the child, right? That's why you hear a lot of women say, my child. They want to completely exclude the father altogether, which is
not true. That shit when they're married too, Trey.
I think that's
they really.
They say that shit when they're married too, but
it's a weird thing. I don't get it until the child starts to act up, and then it's your child. My daughter starts to show her ass, then it's my child.
Yeah, I think it's just I think that's a black culture thing. the whole my child this, my child.
Yeah, you sure? I don't think so, man. But go ahead.
Yeah,
Why would you say that?
I think white women understand the situation about who's in charge and to say, you know what I mean? They're kept women, generally not, for a lot of them, they're kept. So they understand who the man is or whatever. I mean, there's a lot of them that went rogue, of course, but
I hear you. I can get that. With me though, man, I just checked my wife as soon as she said it. Just the very first time I heard that come out of her mouth. It wasn't no argument. I just said, wait a minute, let me stop you right there. She's not your child, man. It's our kid, man. And then we
no,
had a
it's
little
not
conversation.
our either. It's yours.
Yeah, but I didn't have to go into
She
that.
is helping you. She is your helpmeet. She is helping
Yeah,
you.
but I'm not getting into that
That
conversation
is
with the
your.
wife. I was just happy to move it to the middle. Okay, prototype.
No, you
I
don't
mean,
move
let me
it.
just
You
move
don't move it to the middle. You got to take complete control, and they like it. Like I changed everybody's name in this house. If I made you my last name,
I like
you're
that.
mine.
Payne household. Remember that.
Yeah.
Prototype. Our Payne said it's about the small victories. It's about the small victories.
You just get in depth about how you got to go to the jugular in this thing. You got to go to the jugular. It ain't that compromise small victory crap. You got to go for the cut.
I hear you. I'm not arguing. I am not arguing.
You know what? Go ahead, Arpane.
No, go ahead, Lick, because I wanted to ask something.
You know what I was thinking about the other day? Arpane, from time to time, man, you say some stuff that really gets under people's skin and make them think. There was a clip that I clipped up from a show last week for you, and it went like this. Arpane, you said something to the fact that you have to get with a woman who has something to lose. And you have no idea how much wisdom is in that. Because if you get with somebody who has everything to lose, like say, for instance, if a woman who's later on in life, who is at her last wit's end for having a kid and she hadn't had one, she'll probably do some things that are nefarious just to get pregnant, just to get that last ditch effort to get that child out of there because she took a career. Or if you can get somebody who's really young, like in their early 20s, who hasn't been established yet, or something like who hadn't established themselves career-wise and who are not making a lot of money, that child could be tied to her survival. So either way it go, when you take that child away from that person, they're subject to do anything. So there's a certain amount of wisdom that you had displayed in that. And I think everybody agreed with it because I had never seen that many likes or views on any of the posts that I've cut up. And for some strange reason, they like what you had to say. So could you speak to that a little bit more in this particular situation? What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, I agree. I mean, it's really that simple. I mean, especially if you're out there. I mean, I think men need to kind of learn that, it's kind of that maybe a variation on the equally yoked kind of thing. I don't like that term, but if I think men need to start to look at, we shouldn't be reaching down, like we normally do, right? I mean, if a woman has, and that doesn't mean anything to your leadership, by the way, but if she has something that she has of substance, you don't have to marry her just for that, but you know where she's at in life. So she's marrying you because she wants you. Huh?
Only ugly women make money.
But you know what? At least put it to like this, prototype. At least you know you ain't gonna go broke.
Well, the real point is that if she has something to lose from the standpoint that if she has something that is a foundation already, then you have another understanding that she's with you because she wants you and not just your research.
Arpane, I have an objection to this.
Okay.
Because I don't disagree to an extent. But where I am having the problem is when you say have something, are we talking about assets? Are we talking investments? What exactly when you say she needs to have something to lose? Because if you're saying a house, well, that's just debt.
I'm not saying a house. You know what? I'm saying something that's important to her that has value to her, whatever that might be. Now, I discourage, like my daughters, I mean, don't even be thinking about buying a house. If you ain't married, stay your ass in something that because if you're just going to live in it, then it's a liability. So this just
I guess that's where I'm confused a little bit. What would they have? Well,
I mean, whatever.
Because a man's life and a woman's life, it's different. What would she have
Yeah. Well, you're
accumulated
trying to make it
that would be that
monetarily.
valuable that she could lose?
Well, she can have a business, right? Think about it. She can have a business, and guess what?
Well, okay,
Now
let
you
me
got
try to
prenup.
answer it this way. Let me answer it this way. If she listen, if I'm going to look at a woman, one, if she has a job, I would imagine she has some. I'm thinking she has some kind of investment. So we're going to keep it just monetarily. It's whatever's value to her that she has that gives her a foundation, and some of it is intangible. It's maybe not all tangible. I can't answer. I mean, it doesn't have to be the trappings of a house, right? But when you talk to a person who has something, who's living a life as an adult before you meet them, I think that if you get married, she's not marrying you just because she needs you to take care of her. You know what I'm saying? She's marrying you because there's something that you have as an essence of your spirit that she wants to hang on to. And that's the other part to that is that's why I always tell men never marry a woman on her own terms. It's got to be on your terms. If she's willing to do that, that's how I look at it. So there's a couple of things that tie into that. But when you're marrying down, if you're reaching down to be everything to a woman, you'll know it. You'll know it. At least you should.
I guess I was just trying to get clarification on.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about tangible
what she could
assets.
potentially lose.
Yeah, I'm not talking about just losing a physical asset. I mean, her self-worth is
okay. Okay. I mean, once you said intangible, that made more sense.
Right.
Yeah. Think about this too, Trey. If you have kids with her, and for some reason y'all break up, her sexual marketplace value plummets. So that's something else that she can lose too, man.
Yeah, even though they don't think it does. And that's one of the funniest things in the world to me. They legitimately don't think that this is a real thing. I remember having a conversation with my daughter's mom, and she was talking about she was going out, and she look, my daughter's mom is an attractive woman. She still looks good, right? So you'll have a good time. And she said straight up, she said, well, yeah, these guys don't really want to talk to me. And I said, yeah, because you sound, smell, and look like a single mom. That's why. They're not interested.
What's that mean? What's that look like?
It sounds like a single mom.
Yeah, I mean, I was making a joke, you know what I mean? But the point I was trying to make to her is that, baby, when we got together, you were 24, fit, small waist, fat ass, beauty. You know what I mean? You ain't 24 no more. You're about to be 34 now, right? It ain't the same. You got the baby weight now. It's just not the same. You're older now, right? And the world, the stress that you put on yourself by being single, right? It's starting to show, and guys can see it. Now, that doesn't mean that guys won't want to sleep with you. Of course, they still want to sleep with you. That's obvious, right? But in her mind of thinking that she's going to be able to snag one of these guys, nah, that ain't happening, sweetheart. They just want to smash because once you tell them, oh yeah, I have a 6-year-old daughter, it's like, oh, that. And I try to explain it to her. You just got moved into a box. You know how like when you go to the DMV and they give you a number, and then once they find out what you're really there for, they tell you to go sit in a certain section and go wait over there. Yeah, you in the single mom section now. Go wait over there, right? And they can smell. I know I can. Once a woman says, "Oh, I got a kid," it's like, "Oh, you just got slid over into another box." And so I try to explain that to her. But what I realized is a lot of these women, they don't see that. They don't think that that's a real thing. They think I still got it the way I had it before. If anything, I'm more valuable because I have a child, which is not true at all.
Well, it's different because men take care of their kids. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like you asking another woman to come in and put something on the counter and say, "Hey, what you got on my kid?" You know what I'm saying? It's a totally different dynamic.
Hey, I want to express this to Trey real quick, if I can. Look, man, I saw a video today of a young lady, and she said that her and the baby daddy didn't work out, so they have a daughter. And she told her mom moved on with some other guy. She told her mom, "I want my daddy to walk me down the aisle." She said, "Okay, yeah, he can walk you down the aisle, but I won't be there."
That's terrible.
She said, "I won't be at your wedding." She said, "If your stepdaddy is not walking you down the aisle, I'm not going to be there."
Ooh, these selfish mothers, boy. My goodness. You know what I would have said to her? I would have said to her, then I guess you won't be there.
Exactly. That's what I would have
Because
said.
this ain't your wedding.
And she said,
you don't get to choose. You don't get to choose who walks down the aisle.
Right.
Right. My cousin got married. Me and my cousin are really tight. Her dad died in 2003. Her dad was my uncle that practically helped me. He was the only father figure I had, practically raised me. And when he passed away, I just knew. I was walking her down the aisle. I was getting ready, getting in shape. You know, I knew it was going to be me. She chose her brother. She chose her youngest, her brother, who's the youngest. There's nothing I can do about that. I have to respect that. As a mother, you have to respect that. That's the choice she made on her wedding day. That's who she wants to walk her down the aisle. Right. It's her choice. It's her choice. But we have so many selfish parents, mothers, majority of the time, but we have so many selfish parents that want to make it about them. It's not about you. Your daughter's getting married to the man that she loves, she wants to spend the rest of her life with. You're supposed to be there to help her celebrate that. And what are you actually showing her? What are you teaching her? That the man that you chose, that you couldn't work it out with, is less important than the man that you married now? Her father, the one that you helped create this child with, it's less important? That's insanity. But we have a lot of selfish parents.
He got to be in her life because she want him to walk her down the aisle. So,
oh yeah, absolutely, I can see that. Hey Trey, I just
she wants him in her life.
Right. Yeah, right.
And mom doesn't like that.
Nope.
And he's probably been in her life though all along, and that's probably why.
So she gave the daughter ultimatum: me or your daddy.
Daddy.
Yeah, you gotta go daddy.
That's Trey, what she should have said. Then it's daddy.
Yeah, Trey, back to the single mom thing you said about your girl, your ex. You know, she might feel that way because you take care of your daughter so much, even though in her mind, the man might not think, you know, she has the same value, but she might think she has the same value because she don't have the burdens of a typical single mom out there.
No, that's a good point. I mean, that's another conversation that we've had. You know, when she gets on the phone and she's talking to all her other single mama friends and all the BS and the crap that they have to put, you know, she has friends that can't call the father of their child if they're in a bond. Like they can't call him, but she can call me if she had to go to work in the middle of the night. You know what I mean? She can call me and I'll come get my daughter. As a matter of fact, during COVID, she called COVID. As soon as she got the test, I said, where's our daughter? I'll go get her. You know, that was the flexibility that she has. To me, I agree with you, Arpain, but I also realized that she's also spoiled as fuck too. Because of it.
She's a woman? You mean she's a woman?
Right. She's spoiled. She's spoiled behind that because she knows she can call the father of her child if she does need something. Something needs to be tightened in her house. Something needs to be put up in her house. And I told her straight up, ain't shit free around here. You're finna start to pay up. You're about to start paying up. Just to let you know. You keep making these calls because you need your bond fixed. I'm gonna start treating you like all these other women out here when I fix their bonds too.
Hey, what you gonna tell the Trey? It's gonna be 20 in the front
and 40 in the back.
40 in the back. That's right.
Look, I give her some grace because she's raising our daughter. You know what I mean? She has a majority of times. I give her a little leeway. But lately here, you know, been a whole lot of screws that been needing tightening, if you know what I mean.
Right.
I told her straight up, hey, you finna have to start paying up.
That's funny, man. That's
funny. Well, I mean, guys, I think that the mental health of men I personally believe it's going to get worse. Because like you said, again, man, we're not prepared for war. And the worst thing in the world, man, is to go out in the world and go to war and then to look over in the bed next to you and be at war with that too.
So what's the biggest stressors, man, for men? I mean, what's the if we had to go from 1 to 5?
Pussy.
And you can put that on all of them.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
It's the top of the list.
Punani, that's the issue.
And but what about?
If we can somehow get that figured out, black man?
Yeah,
I think most men will be all right.
And what about the men? I'm gonna ask this before we get out of here. What about the man that we showed earlier? When I showed Arnez J earlier, when he found out in his damn near early 50s that his daddy is not his daddy. Kirk Franklin found out in his 50s his daddy is not his daddy. So on and so forth. All these people find out their mama was whores.
So what's worse, the son not knowing or the father who's been cheated on?
Huh?
In terms of the pecking order.
Yeah, pick a man. The man on the side that took to be the dad, or the guy who stepped in to be the dad. Which one you want to talk about?
Man.
By your dad or step in dad.
You know, so is Kirk Franklin any worse off than or like Tyler Perry? Is he worse off than his father was? Who his
yeah, because Tyler got beat.
Yeah, that dude beat the shit out of Tyler because he knew
he beat the crap out of Tyler Perry.
Mental health problem out on beating his son. That's how he got it out of him. Tyler Perry didn't have that. Instead, he gave us a lifetime of terrible movies with better horrible.
You know what? Here's the thing about that. I think that when we start telling these stories, I think we probably need to properly identify the villain, because clearly his mom was the villain in this because she knew the truth and she still allowed that boy to get beat.
Yes.
I think that's the real villain, man.
Yeah, man. In both cases.
And if you look up a picture of Tyler Perry's mama in her 20s, you can tell she was throwing that thing from the free throw line. That woman was fine, boy. Woo, she was bad. Creole woman, too. Bad. Hair down her back.
So that's
so that's the thing, man. It's just, see, while he was at work working all them long hours, she had them legs open, man.
That's the price of doggone, providing, brother, Ain't the right prototype. That's the price of providing.
That's the price. That's crazy.
Yeah. Now Tyler, your mama dead, she maggot food now. And now Tyler living the rest of his life with a hole in him. Like he like, damn, who is my daddy? Shit. I don't think I ever, is he dead? Like, who is this one night stand that you got pregnant by?
She don't remember that shit, man.
She did.
Tyler Perry,
I don't care how much money he got. He'll never be able to take that money and fill that hole.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say Tyler Perry is the antithesis of hurt people.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of money.
He's made an entire business out of projecting his pain onto everybody else.
Yep.
He's made himself a billionaire because of it.
And and one of the other things about the whole situation with all these mamas that are saying, oh, you be fine, like Tyler Perry, the dude that supposedly was not his dad, and he knew the whole time. He just became an alcoholic and abusive toward Tyler and the mama. After he found out he knew about it, Tyler said, after he found out, he went to the man. He said, I apologize for what my mom did to you. He said, and in return, man, I forgive you for everything that you went through. He said, I didn't know your mental state of mind. I didn't know my mama did that to you. He said, but you won't ever have to work another day in your life. He said, you go out and pick the house you want, the car you want. He said, I'm gonna have groceries brought to your house every day. Every time you call, I'll have somebody go get your groceries. I'll have a car pull up if you need somebody to drive you somewhere. If you want to travel, you can use my private jet. He said, anything you need, I got you.
That's cool. That's cool.
So he taking care of that guy.
Yeah, I don't know which one's worse. My dad wasn't in my life, so I don't know if not having him around at all, or having a man that you thought was your dad and he wasn't your dad, and finding out later in life where you're 20, 30, 40 years deep into this, thinking that this man is your father. I don't know which one is worse, because we both have a hole.
Yep.
Tyler Perry has a hole in his heart, and I got a hole in mine too. You know what I mean? And it's like,
and that's what Kirk said. Kirk said the man that beat him and talked to him crazy and treated him like shit, he thought was his real daddy. He said he had to go to therapy for years and a decade of therapy trying to love this man, even though this man, he felt like his daddy hated him. And he found out in his 50s, bro, after all that money spent on therapy, trying to love a man he thought was his father, dude. And bro, and his mama still to this day will not tell the truth. Bitch, we got DNA tests. He is not This man down the street that you had sex with when he was 15 and you
die
was
with that lie.
right. He was 15, she was 20. And you was fucking a 15-year-old. And you didn't want the world to know you was fucking with a 15-year-old. Kirk Daddy was 15 when y'all was fucking. So,
and a lot of the times when we talk to these younger guys, I have to accept the fact that I'm 40 now, so I'm not the young guy anymore.
Right.
I try to explain to them, like, I'm not trying to hate on you, and I'm not trying to deter you. You want to get married, get married. You want to have kids, do it. But you have to understand this game. If you understand the rules of the game, then you can play the game better. We got a lot of young guys that's getting into these situations. They don't know, like this guy we just watched this whole video on. He has no idea the rules of the game, which is why he's in the situation he's in. And once you understand how to play the game, you can be great at it. You can be really good at the game. A lot of these guys, and so when we tell them, I'm 40, I'm trying to tell a 21-year-old, get a prenup. You know what I mean? Do these things. Protect yourself. Oh, you just scared. Oh, you bitter. Oh, the last woman that hurt you. And it's like, yeah, I got my grievances with her, but I know I can show you 100 other guys that got the same issues. I'm not telling you this because I'm bitter or angry. I'm telling you this because we're trying to change the way that men deal with women so that you guys don't end up in the positions we ended up in. We really are. It's not hating. I'm not hating on you. I don't want you to have to sit in a courtroom and have a judge who's 70-something years old and could care less and is getting ready to retire to tell you can only see your child every other weekend. Even though you've made an exceptional case on why you should be able to see the child 50% of the time. He don't care because he's retiring in 2 months.
And
so
that child support money that you're going to be paying is going to be helping him with his retirement.
Get retired on it. Yes. And so we're trying to get you guys, we're trying to help you guys understand we don't want you to go down these paths. This to me is one of the stark differences between men and women. Women will send the women down the same path of pain, trauma. They'll just let them just go right now, even though they know better. They know better. They know to tell them, hey, go get a good man because he'll protect you and provide for you. That's what I did with your grandfather. No, instead, they'll send them down the path of feminism, knowing damn well that when they're 50, they're going to be in pain and hurting and on TikTok crying about they can't find a man and we're all the good men. They know this stuff. Us as men, we're trying to tell these young guys so that I don't want you to end up like me. I want you to have a beautiful wife and a beautiful home with your beautiful kids going to soccer practice and football games. That's what I want for you because that's what I wanted for myself. It just didn't work out that way.
Yep. All right, man. Well, I appreciate all you, man, for coming out tonight, man. I appreciate it. Prototype Dad. Appreciate you too, man. As we end the show, man, we'll be back on what's today? Tuesday, tomorrow. Sports show at 7. And we got Crack Era Kids with JT tomorrow. So I can't wait to talk about that. Hear about what they talking about with that. But and then Thursday, Lost in Translation, I'll be back on with a new series on Thursday night. And then on Friday, Barbershop, and then Sunday again, the Gray Area and the Plug, man. So I appreciate all you guys, how you come out and support me. So y'all have a good night. We out. Peace. Oh, and watch the replay in the morning. We'll be replaying this show in the morning. So you want to get in on the conversation in the morning, whoever's in the chat, please do so. We'll see y'all later.